So I kind of warned you in my last video that there might be an opportunity here to take profits and maybe even buy low. So let me explain in this video what's going to happen. You may well be feeling the pinch if you bought late. We're going to talk about it. I've been talking about the weekly timeframes for the last few weeks now, in terms of we've had a lot of bullish momentum going up, not just on Bitcoin but on a lot of assets, which we are going to cover in this video. I've talked about this a lot on my Patreon. I've talked about this a lot on Learning Crypto. They will be pullbacks. They always is. Nothing goes down forever. Nothing goes up forever. You've got to kind of get with it. A lot of people were getting very, very excited, and that is the big problem. That euphoric feeling never always lasts. So hurt, pain, all kinds of good stuff. Yeah, not great. But you will get used to it. Anyways, let's talk first about Bitcoin, obviously what's happening. Zoom out enough, you can see what's happening. We are still in a very much bear trend. We have done a very nice pullback to an area of significance on the fib, which I have highlighted before. If you've not seen any of my other content, make sure you go through the back catalogue, or if you want to jump in Patreon and get some journal pieces, feel free. 0236 on the lovely Fibonacci has been a big strong level of resistance for a lot of the moves for Bitcoin in the past, and again it's showing this trait again. Lovely. We've also had a hidden bearish divergence all over the RSI on the higher time frames on Bitcoin, and also on the weekly time frame we're still supposed to be net short technically on the dominance. Again, if you want to know more about this, check out my Patreon or Learning Crypto in terms of how that works. However, what else is happening which we need to talk about? Well, this is a thing, right? We talk about this a lot, and I talk about this, and I did a video about this in terms of dominance a couple of weeks ago. A lot of people moaned in the comments going, oh, there's nothing new here, it's just a dominance. But why not take note of it? Why not listen about it, right? The reason why I say that is because the most simple, effective methods that work for me make me money, right? They understand when to be in the market, when not to be in the market, when to take profit, when to buy the dip, all kinds of good stuff, right? You've got to look at that. If this carries on going up, right? If this carries on going up, and I'm repeating myself, but I need to make sure you would know that, it will be a lot of pain. It will basically mean that money is coming out of the crypto market, and that is not what we want, right? Because that will mean your assets are going to fall even lower. You need to understand that money flow is hugely important. So this level's held up nicely. I don't do much TA on these. I like to just look at where things are going in terms of directional bias. But you can see what is happening. Bullish trend, right? Very, very clear. Money flow, potentially. We'll see how it goes. See if it carries on going. If other assets and other chains or whatever are going to collapse or fail or break or whatever, it's going to make an impact. If the Nasdaq, if everything else falls down, it's going to create an impact. People will start getting fear, and that's not what you want. Anyways, moving on to something more obvious is Ethereum. News has recently came out, and we laugh at it, we joke at it, and all kinds of good stuff. But the merge is coming. POW to POS, right? But the reality is there's going to be no withdrawals. There's going to be no change in infrastructure of payments in terms of how much it will cost to send stuff, and the speed. Not great, right? But as I mentioned, big bullish momentum, take profit. I did at 2000. Or ultimately buy the dip, right? So opportunity for some bulls here. If we are going to go and retest this level, if we are going to get demand even here, put your money where your mouth is. Instead of tweeting about it, instead of doing videos about, oh, well, let's do it. If you think the bottom is in, this is where you buy. You are looking for a higher low, right? Very, very simple. You are looking for that step period on the higher time frames to get in the market. And everyone's talking about, oh, I've missed the rally, the hated rally, whatever. But realistically, there's an opportunity to start getting in the market very, very soon if demand obviously holds. If not, and you don't think the bottom's in, just wait and chill out and relax, right? Next thing I want to talk about is the elephant in the room, which is kind of to do with Bitcoin, is Mt. Gox. Rumors are there's going to be releasing of Mt. Gox fundage over the course of the next couple of weeks. I think it's probably happening very soon. Just be careful. Now, the dump may not even affect the market. What may affect the market is the news, right? People talking about it, fear, greed. So just be careful with that. This dump obviously gets you fear, right? So remember, there's a bigger picture here, which I'm going to talk about. The Nasdaq. The Nasdaq has done a nice little correction, right? Very, very clear, very, very obvious. And I mentioned this before on Learning Crypto this morning on the live, right? Now, if you flip this chart upside down, it looks like the greatest long opportunity of your life. That is a problem. What would that indicate? That we're probably going to come down. This is a very clear uptrend on an inverted chart. What does that mean in a normal chart? It means a clear downtrend. If this carries on going down, if the S&P carries on going down, if all the other metrics that we're going to talk about in a second do what it wants to do, i.e. go up, I'll explain in a second, we're going to start seeing the fallout of crypto as well. We may well get a liquidity crisis, which may be a problem for crypto, right? If people are stuck in positions and there's going to be a $2 trillion expiry on some options very, very soon, if people need the cash, if they need to cover those calls, they're going to go to crypto. Because why? It's the quickest, it's the easiest, it's the most efficient market to get money from within the same day. So just be careful, right? So that's that. The S&P 500 is similar. It went a little bit higher, but again, the structure still remains intact. It is still in a bearish trend. If we do roll over and carry on going back to these lows or even lower, it's not going to be good. So, I'm saying it's very, very bearish outlook, but it depends. All right, that is the worst case scenario. If we do, though, pull back into a level of demand here and then carry on going up, well, it's going to be fine. That is where you get your entry point if there is demand, right? So make sure you understand that. The last two things I want to talk about and I mentioned going up was the dollar. Tweeted about it a few days ago. Dollar up, bonds up, bad for Bitcoin. Everyone was like, nah, see ya, 32k, mate. Doesn't matter. Now look, we're down 4k, 3k give or take on the prices. Not looking great right now. Across the board looking horrible. You've got to look at the data. You've got to look at the information that is presented. The data tells you if the market is right or wrong. The bond market is telling us that the market is overvalued right now. So we've got to look at that. Money is going into the dollar strength, right? The bond market is also starting to go back up again. Higher the yields, more people are looking at safety. That means money is going from the stock market into the bond market just for a bit of peace of mind for a lot of people instead of holding stocks, for example, or even holding crypto, essentially. So the higher this goes, the less attractive this is for people to invest in the stock market. The lower this is, the more attractive it is for borrowing and also investing in stocks. So make sure you understand that. Anyways, done. Don't get wrecked by buying the tops, please. Buy low, sell high. Redistribute that profit back into the lows in the dips. Enjoy the market for what it gives you. Everything is telling us certain things are going to change very, very soon, in my opinion. So let's just wait and see what happens. If there is demand on those higher time frames, if we hit key levels and we're going to carry on going up, entry. If not, wait. Easy.